ladies. Come on below and I'll show you how we've got things set up here. Now, before we go below, just want to mention to you, these swinging doors, when I go out sailing, you know, they just slide off. And I use the solid Companionway doors instead. And I do that even if I'm just going around the corner. If I'm going to be gone from the pier any length of time at all or anywhere within sight of the marina, I'm taking these down because you don't know what's going to happen out there. I mean, you know, a big wake, somebody just not behaving right, or I don't know what, but I would rather be on the safe side. Just take these off, store them below, and bring the solid doors back up. I get to Anchorage, or I get to a marina, put the swinging doors back on, easy peasy. Well, come on below, let's take a look, guys. Well, starting on the port side, this is the charger controller for the solar panels, a 60 amp, and then of course some dishes. And I added, this whole galley has been redone. I got a Corian top that I found a piece of scrap and all fit together on. I'll put a link on the to the description. Put a new sink in and pressure water. You can hear the pump run. And for soap, I put one of these pump things in, and you know, usually you have to go underneath and take the little bottle off and refill it. Well, this has got a tube that goes down and goes to a big jug of soap, so I only have to change it once in a while. One of the big renovations I did, though, was this is the refrigerator. It was an ice box. I put a cool blue chiller plate in that is air cooled, so I don't have any holes in the boat for water. And I've had this in here, gosh, it's got to be 4 or 5 years now, and never had a problem with it. Never had to I had to recharge it once when I first installed it because I didn't get the fittings quite tight, but that was easy to do. And then a little bit of storage here. Another big one, of course, was the stove. And you know, it's on a gimbal. Got something underneath there. And propane, and the 2.5 pound propane tank lasts me almost 2 months, and I was cooking every day on this thing. So I thought that's pretty efficient. And next to the stove there's a little tabletop. It's not a lot, but I also added this swing table, and this, you can take this whole thing up. Well, if I can get to it right, there we go. And this just all comes off. Now I use this a lot for a computer table rather than put the entire table up. But then also while I'm cooking, if I need more space, I've got a little flip-up table. And the swing table fits underneath that. Continuing around, I've got some shelves in here. And I added these. They weren't in when I got the boat. So I put this shelf in. Then I have my handheld VHF here. Spotlight at the ready. And then of course up here for storage, got some net bags swinging around. Oh, my TV's a little crooked, but I've got the TV. And then behind that, and we'll get into that in just a moment, is the head. Coming back to the starboard side when you come in, there's my AC and DC panels, my battery controller, my VHF radio, and underneath that, in here's the diesel heater control, my Alpha Network Wi-Fi extender. Then there's the v-berth, and I basically use that for storage. Even when Sherry was staying on board with me, it was really just kind of storage for her things. And in this locker, it was kind of like a little hanging locker. You couldn't really hang much. But that is where I have my reverse cycle HVAC unit, which of course only runs while I'm at the marina with shore power. I wouldn't have enough room on this boat to put solar panels to be able to run that. Thing with the v-berth, or the quarter berth, you can see I have the diesel heater back there, and that gray board, normally I took that down so you could see where the diesel heater was installed. That goes up there to prevent anything from being pushed back into the heater. You know, and then I have the ductwork just running up across and into the main salon. Well, continuing forward on the starboard side, I've got a microwave, which when I put my inverter in, I'll be able to run that. More that you can see the ductwork along the back here for the diesel heat. That comes out here, and then this is the vent for the HVAC. This is the vent for the diesel heater. I also have a DC fan that I carry along. Then there's the got a book rack there. Here's the table that folds down. It's just a table that folds down. I also set this bench seat up so that could be pulled out and made into a single berth, and you can sleep on it the way it is, but for two people, the bottom cushion comes out and then the top cushion folds down and makes it a double bed. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I've got a DC outlet up here. You can charge your phone with it, but also this goes to the Wi-Fi adapter or Wi-Fi extender. But here I can plug in and keep my tablet charged up. The head is rather small. It doesn't have a shower. Something I really didn't think that much about when I was getting the boat, and I talked about that in an earlier episode. But it had a regular sink in it. I took that out. I put this above counter sink in. Got more storage around here, and the faucet, and the same with the kitchen sink. That came from Ambassador, marine grade stainless steel, marine grade faucets. Really nice. Then we also removed the marine head, which gave us more room for storage because I was able to take the holding tank out, which was pretty small anyway. I don't think it was much more than 12 gallons. But here with the composting toilet, we don't have that problem anymore. And there's some storage behind here. Another book rack or paper rack, whatever we need it. That's where I keep all my paperwork for the boat. And then we swing around to the v-berth. And for additional storage, I added that shelf across the top there. Then I have a hanging net, and that's the access to the anchor locker. And I put shelving and a net on the other side also. And there's a couple of shelves over the hanging lockers. And here you see what I think is a necessity, that little brown box there. is my cigar humidifier. I mean, hey, you can't have a boat without one of those. The hanging locker on each side of the v-berth. I mean, it won't hold a lot, but it holds a few things. Since we don't really hang a lot of things in the hanging locker, I made this one more of a regular storage locker. And to make it easier to get in and out of the v-berth, I added a little step, which wasn't thinking about it at the time, but that worked out pretty well because now I actually have a little more storage in there too. Well guys, that's the basics of how the cabin is set up, at least how I have mine set up. And it's worked really good for me, especially with just the two of us. This 30-footer has got plenty of room. Wish I would have thought about the shower, would have made things a little bit easier. But hey, it's just one little thing. The rest of the boat is working really great. So on our next episode, we're going to talk about the engine, navigation, a little bit more on the electrical and the electronics. Well, until next time, happy and safe boating to you, your family, and friends.